we think that such a big question of our society and state have to be put on referendum. So we wanted to fight for referendum, and we think that a fight for referendum is even more a fight for freedom in Montenegro, much more than this topic, the topic of NATO, and even more this is a fight for some dignity of our people, and even more a dignity of Europe. If some government, German or another governments of NATO member states support our government, they directly supporting one mafia regime.
Because we travel a lot, we travel in a van, and on the good side is that we have such a good atmosphere that this is the first time that we all met together for this kind of, for any kind of project.
Ratification of protocol about Montenegro entering NATO, supported by forced composition of Montenegro parliament, occupied institution and crime political structures who protect only personal interest and illegally earned properties, is nothing else than a legal political aggression of NATO to small country Montenegro. We fight for democracy first of all, and after that about this topic of NATO. More than 84% of citizens of Montenegro, and that number is growing, with a trend of growing, want to give their opinion about entering NATO in referendum. This is an internal information of the government of Montenegro, which is published in the Dispatch affair, and this is known in Montenegro as Montenegro WikiLeaks, that affair that we published last year as a movement for neutrality. To be precise, 68% of those citizens in Montenegro who are for NATO are also for referendum. Despite of this information or these informations, authorities want to make this decision inside the parliament. It's unseen violation of democracy and disrespect of will of our people. And we want to ask, is the great, so-called great NATO so afraid of free will of Montenegrin people, because they are all probably afraid because they don't want to allow us opportunity to have referendum? And also, is democratically free will expressed in referendum in one small country a threat to a big military alliance like NATO? Should this issue be resolved, we have to ask, by an autocrat criminal head of the Montenegrin authorities and his consigliere for the dirty jobs, our now actual prime minister, who represent themselves as a state for more than 3 decades. And I think that this is really important to say, that pulling Montenegro into NATO by malversations of individuals in Montenegro can only destabilize our country, but I really think that destabilize our region. This method of NATO enlargement literally moves this from a legal political sphere into a process of manipulating the institution and legal political aggression to Montenegro. This is conditio sine qua non of Montenegrin democracy, stability, and we do believe prosper. We are asking you, like our friends here in Bundestag, for help in this struggle, asking you to react to this appeal and show that serious members of EU and also NATO indeed take care of their dignity. This is not only a fight, and this is maybe a crucial thing for NATO thing in Montenegro. I really do believe that this is a much more broader fight that we are fighting right now in this trip. This is a fight for essential democracy, and not just democracy in Montenegro, but moreover democracy in our region and Europe. And this is also a fight for a dignity of people in Montenegro, not this is not a story about elite and the story of elites in Montenegro and elsewhere, and this is also a fight for dignity of Europe. I really believe that.
I wish in all former Yugoslav republics I would see this kind of engagement like in Montenegro against NATO, and we must fight, and we will fight together. Probably the next time in Brussels, we will have in May the summit, NATO summit, the next NATO summit. Probably your country will be the official member of NATO at the time. But
I hope not.
I hope not as well. Nevertheless, I think we can cooperate and even cooperate for these demonstrations we will surely have in Brussels, and we will see there in Brussels again.
Wir haben bei dieser Reise festgestellt, dass in Montenegro nicht bekannt ist, dass die Linke in Deutschland und auch in Deutschland es Menschen gibt, die gegen die NATO sind, während es umgedreht auch im Rest Europas nicht bekannt ist, dass es eine starke Bewegung gegen die NATO-Mitgliedschaft in Montenegro gibt.
In Montenegro it was not known that in Germany the left party is against NATO, and in other European countries there is also more or less resistance against NATO, but these are just small groups. But one thing is clear, not everybody in Europe is for NATO, and we need to demonstrate this, that there are people who say no to NATO.
Wir freuen uns deshalb sehr, dass wir jetzt unsere Freunde aus Montenegro hier in Berlin begrüßen können und wir uns wechselseitig im Kampf gegen das Kriegsbündnis NATO unterstützen.
So, and finally, we are really happy to say hello to our friends from Montenegro, and we promise to support us, to support each other. Thank you a lot that you visited us.